YouTube. So back with y'all with another video. So just first off, I want to let you know, I hope you guys can hear me. I don't have my mic on today. When I was trying to do this video the other day, but I got interrupted in a good way. But since I've got a new phone, and now with all the new phones, doesn't matter if it's Samsung or iPhone, they don't have the fucking phone jack anymore, I guess. So when I was trying to record with my mic, and I went back and I always kind of test my videos and make sure that everything is working. And when I went back and listened to it, there was like a buzzing sound. So I'm not sure if it's the actual mic, if that's kind of dead and gone now, or if it's the little like adapter thing that allows me to plug in my microphone into the phone in the charging port. So I was just like, I can't do that. So hopefully, since there's no mic, I'm just talking to you raw right now. Hopefully y'all can hear me. So I wanted to tell you that first. And also, I don't want to talk too loud because if you can see, different scenery again. I'm in the hospital. So I have like a rare condition that can happen with pregnancy. That is called Vasoprevia. It was discovered at when I was at 20 weeks, and pretty much just kind of the short end of it is that it's a fetal blood vessel that is sometimes close to or can lie over your cervix. So if you happen to go into preterm labor, it's actually kind of risky for the baby and they can bleed out. So usually what they have moms do is after so many weeks, when you get closer to maybe depending on how far advanced it is. Luckily mine wasn't that bad. It's not laying over my cervix, but it's close. So some moms can get hospitalized as in the later before 30 weeks or at least a little bit after 30 weeks. So I've been here since 30 weeks. I've been here for 5 weeks now. So I've been here for 5 weeks. I'm in the hospital, so I don't want to talk too loud because there's other moms in here, and some of them who have had their babies are, in some of the other rooms. So if the baby's sleeping, I don't want to be too loud. But last video that I posted, it was about toxic parenting and some of the issues that I've dealt with growing up a little bit, and just kind of just in general some of the other examples that I've seen. So again, I have been on kind of a kick wanting to talk more about family and parenting and all of that since I have a little one on the way. So this video, I did kind of want to talk about what I hope to be as a parent, because I feel like with my generation, I'm a elder millennial. That is so disrespectful. Elder millennial. So I feel like starting sort of with our generation down, we're really trying to break those generational curses. And that is one of the top things that I hope to bring into this kid's life, where they can feel free to kind of be them, be encouraged, gentle parenting, take their opinions into consideration, help them learn, and not discipline them when they're learning. I feel like there's so many kids where they get disciplined for making mistakes, and you can't discipline somebody for something they don't know. So I just hope to be a patient parent. That's not going to be all the time, because I know parenting is hard, but at the same time, they're brand new. So where else are they going to get everything that's going to make them grow to be a decent person? Where else are they going to get that from you as a parent, as their first example? So definitely want to talk about that part. I think I'm going to make another video too, probably after this one, to talk about, because again, I've been in the hospital for 5 weeks, and kind of just talk about my experience doing that and how it's kind of affected my pregnancy and things like that. So anyway, going into this video, I hope that I get this posted before he's born. I'm actually gonna have him next week. So this week in particular, it has been pretty hard. It's been really hard, actually. And I think what triggered it is earlier this week was my father's birthday. And anytime you get around his death date or his birth date, sometimes I can get emotional. I feel like this year, when it comes to his death date and his birth date, it's been a little bit harder because of the simple fact that it's hitting me that he's not going to hold his grandson. You know, he's not gonna be able to do the things with him that he did with me as a kid, go fishing, you know, things like that. My son's not gonna have that experience with his grandfather. And that makes me sad because I was a daddy's girl. My dad was my person. That was the person that I learned from. So, you know, the kind of learning of my independence, standing up for myself, feeling encouraged, you know, feeling praised, you know, in the accomplishments that I was making in my life. My dad was my person. And I know I'm going to be that person for my kid, but I wish he had that from his grandfather, and he won't. So I'm not going to cry. So I think that's what triggered it. It triggered it to a point where I felt like I was crying like 2 or 3 days straight. Then it kind of hit me that, and I hate it. I know people are trying to be positive, or people are coming around like, oh, you get to meet him soon, or you get to have him here in a couple of days and everything like that. And all I'm thinking about is I'm mourning this phase of everything. Because I have to admit, when I first got pregnant this time, I was very cautious. So I guess in a way I can admit that when I got pregnant, and even for several months into the pregnancy, I didn't really want to get attached. You know, I had miscarried twice before, and when I got pregnant with this one, I had lost my second one probably not even 2 months before this one was conceived. So it was all everything that I was thinking of was pessimistic. You know, people are like, well, are you excited? I'm like, yeah, sure, if this one makes it. You know, have you planned a baby shower? And it's just like, I'm kind of waiting because I'd hate to ask people for all these presents and then the worst happens. And then when I was diagnosed with the Vasoprevia, then it's just like, okay, it was bad enough I had 2 taken from me. And now with this one, now I have something that's rare and scary and can be fatal. And it's just like, what's the difference between this and the other 2? I didn't have time to really get attached to the pregnancy. It wasn't until, and then not only that, I let myself get distracted by other things. Work, you know, all of that. Work was super busy up until I got admitted. So I didn't have time to really focus on a pregnancy other than maybe the symptoms I was having. So I wasn't, you know, the mom who was sitting there and talking to her baby, or playing music, or reading pregnancy books or baby books, or reading to, you know, my baby. I wasn't doing any of that. And it wasn't until I got admitted into here that I was actually able to take the time to do that. So now that it's coming to a close, I'm just like, what am I going to do? I'm going to miss the feeling of him rolling around and kicking and the hiccups and all of that. Like, it's truly amazing. It really is. So going through this pregnancy journey, and then you look at, I know everybody has their own story. I know not everybody is fit for what is placed in front of them, but I start to think like, how do you have moms who are just completely distant or abusive or narcissistic against their babies after going through this? Like, how can you be so emotionally detached? Again, I know people have their own thing, and I'm not judging that, but I'm just saying this is like one of the most like amazing experiences that our bodies can do this. So men are really kind of missing out because you don't get that emotional attachment beforehand. You gain it afterwards, but to build this up and not even be able to see, this little being in you, like that's something. But yeah, I was sad. I was just like, I want to hold on to him a little bit longer. And my boyfriend, he did kind of perk me up the other day a little bit to try and make me laugh. And then saying things like, and it really made me think, because I had to take myself out of my normal kind of cynical thinking. And he asked me, did the pregnancy kind of live up to your expectations? And that was the thing, is I really didn't have any expectation. It was something to really think about. And even I said, told him like, as far as, again, I was somebody who grew up and said I didn't really want kids. But as far as the times that I've been pregnant until now, as far as my expectation goes, yes and no. It met my expectations because, it's nice when you see like your growing belly, and like I said, you feel the movement, and you take note of, there's certain things that you eat that makes them react a certain way. There's certain songs, if you play them and press them up against your belly, that he moves to when he doesn't. So it's just like, those were great feelings, and those were things that I didn't really think about going into this pregnancy, but it made me realize that it was a great experience. But then you look at the other things, due to this Vasa Previa and still COVID lingering around anyway, didn't really get to have the experience of like maternity shoot, baby shower, any of that. Like, I didn't have any of that. And I'm the type of person where I've been a tomboy all my life. And I put those things in the category of what I call like girly things. So I was never really pressed on things when people talk about like baby showers, maternity shoots, newborn shoots, bridal showers, and things like that. Like, I'm like, I don't really focus on that. But at the same time, it's just like, because of everything going on and how everything kind of got wrapped up early, I'm just like, I really didn't even have the option to even do that in the first place. And if I do decide to do it, obviously it's going to have to be after he's born. And this goes back to almost my last video when it comes to the toxic parenting. I told my boyfriend, and not only that, even though my mother and I don't have like the closest relationship, when you're a woman and you're going through a pregnancy, and especially like your first, you would like to have those female relationships around you, like your mother, or some female, some older female kind of presence that is with you through that journey. And I didn't have that. I didn't have that at all. To go out and look at things and talk about previous, your pregnancy experiences, and like, I don't have that. I look on that side of it where it's just like, this pregnancy has also felt kind of like a lonely one as well. Like, I've been here for 5 weeks, and really the only visitor that I'm getting is my boyfriend, which is amazing. He's come up every weekend, days in the middle of the week. He's come for a few hours to hang out with me. 5 weeks, my mother's been here 4 times. Any friends that I've had, extended family members, no, just no. So that's the other thing as well. I know I try not to think about it too much, because you chop it up to adulthood. People have other things going on. COVID really threw a wrench in a lot of friendships, where if I had people in my life where I might have been close to, but we didn't see each other on the regular, and we only saw each other every blue moon, obviously COVID threw a wrench in that, where you didn't see them at all. And then now that once everything started to open back up, and even though our numbers are going high here anyway, it was kind of hard to adjust back to that life of hanging out with people. So, and then again, because adulthood got in the way. So it's been a very lonely pregnancy. But anyway, when it comes to parenting, what I hope to be with this child is, like I touched a little bit on in my previous video, of how I felt like I wasn't just free to kind of explore. And that is something that as kids we all go through. We want to explore, whether it be in the house, whether it be in a park, whether it be the school, a museum, a field trip, whatever. We are meant to explore just as people. But when you have someone who is always so worried of something bad happening, or being so overprotective that you kill that spirit within your kid, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want my kid to come up to me, and depending on, because you know your kids. You know your kids. So if you have the type of kid that comes to you one day like, "Ma, I want to try karate." If I feel like this is just a phase, and then after a week or two, now you want to play piano, but obviously, because nobody has money to invest in all of that. But at the same time, I'm not going to kill your spirit in wanting to do these things. If you want to go into karate, if we can't get you into classes because it's too expensive, let's YouTube it. But I don't want to kill my child's spirit, where everything that they think is fun and that they want to do and they feel like is going to advance them or put them in social settings where they can, have a lot more friends and, learn from other people. I can't deny them that. I will not deny them that. To be able to tell, just even the little thing of being able to tell my child every single day, "I love you." I don't remember that. I want my child to hear that every day. "I love you." Hell, even now, I tell my kid, because again, with me being in a hospital, like they put me on like the baby monitor every, pregnant woman, like the NST, I have to do that every day. So I tell him all the time, especially when you have the nurses who are kind of, and kind of really are just kind of put you on the monitor, and maybe let's try and rush this along, and if we need to send you to another unit, then to put you on 24-hour monitoring, then we do that, or whatever. I tell him when I hear his heartbeat going and I feel it going up and I feel he's doing okay, I'm proud of you. You're doing good. Keep going. I let him know that he's not even here yet, and all I'm doing is encouraging a heartbeat. I just couldn't imagine not encouraging my child in the things that, they do, and saying things like, "I love you" all the time. You want your kids to not only feel cared for, they should hear it as well. Should definitely hear it as well. I don't want to create a little boy who's going to feel like he can't cry. We have too much of that in our society today. If you need to cry, you better cry it out. Period. We cannot keep creating these little boys who are just emotionally stunted because somebody keeps wanting to tell them to man up, or that having emotions is weird and girly. We cannot do that. I just want to raise a kind, and gentle, intelligent, adventurous, sweet little boy. That's all I want to create. That's all I want to do. Is he going to make mistakes? Yes, he is human. Is it up for me to jump down his throat down for every little mistake? No. Will I jump down his throat for some mistakes? Again, probably. I am human. But I am also human enough to where if I explode, I can come to my child and I can apologize. I want to create a bond and a family unit for my son where we can sit down and we can have conversations. You can tell me things. There are so many kids, all of us have gone through it if we've had that parent that is overprotective or judgmental or abusive or anything of that fashion, where once you hit a certain age, preteen, teenager, and you start to really go through stuff that you don't want to talk to your parents about that. And it's not even just the simple fact of because that's not cool to talk to your parents. They're not going to understand. They're from a totally different generation. But it's because of the simple fact that you have to worry about the consequences. I mean, if I have a conversation with my mother now, and I'm almost 40 years old, I have to think about what the hell is going to be the consequences? What am I going to hear back? Is it going to be something that's completely going to tear me down emotionally? Or is it going to be something that is completely going to piss me off? There's no in between. You know, and I don't want my kid to worry about that, where if he's really stuck in a bind and he's just like, I can't tell my mom about that because she's going to view me this way. Or she's going to say this to me to make me feel horrible about myself. No kid should have to go through that, like at all. I'm not going to be perfect. Nobody is. I'm not going to be perfect. He's not going to be perfect. His dad's not going to be perfect. That's the parent I hope to be. You know, because you never know what you might have around the corner. You know, I'm older. He may be special needs. Just you never know what may happen. And with this rare condition, I mean, it doesn't affect, you know, after birth or whatever, because again, all it is a vessel that you're just hoping does not break before I actually go in to have the C-section. But you never know what could happen. But you do have to go with the flow, and you still have to be determined to raise a kind, decent human being. So, I'm not going to make this video too much longer. That's all I kind of really want to talk about then, because he's coming. 4 more days. I'm nervous. Not entirely, because I haven't let myself think about the operation that much. So I can't really say nervous about that. I am a little scared. Most of my fear comes from, and this is how it's been for my other 2 pregnancies anyways, because you hear about the mortality rate in Black women in childbirth. That is the one thing that scares me. So it's not really even entirely the surgery itself. I have a high pain threshold. I know I'm going to feel this tugging, all this, that, and needles. I'm going to be numb. Like, I know all of that. I'm not nervous about that. I'm nervous about maybe feeling some way, sick, lightheaded, whatever, and not being taken seriously. I'll talk a little bit about that in the next video if I make that, because I've already had to, you know, keep repeatedly advocating for myself sitting in this hospital and feeling like sometimes I'm not being listened to. I don't want that to happen in the operating room. That's the last place that I feel like I should have to keep repeating myself in order to be listened to, because my child deserves a mom, period. So, not really nervous about that. But again, I'm still kind of on the mopey side, because I don't want this part to end. I really don't. And it's not even like, I've talked to other moms and they're just like, yeah, because you feel like that's the one place you can protect them. Again, I'm not worried about that. I've dealt with overprotective parents. Trust me, I'm not worried about keeping him safe, like anything like that. It's just that this bond is the most amazing thing ever. And I know it's not going to break just because I give birth to him. It's just going to look different. And it's just the fact that it's going to look different is what makes me a little sad. So I want to see his face. I want to see who he looks like. I want to see, how tall he's going to be, and, how much he's going to weigh. Is he going to have a lot of hair? I don't think he's going to have too much hair. I had a little bit of heartburn, but I don't think he's going to have too much hair. Just to see all the features. Is he going to have my nose? I can already tell by the ultrasound he's going to have my cheeks. I'm sorry, but in my family, these cheeks do not miss anybody. So he's going to have that. I already know that already. If he does not have my cheeks, I would be absolutely surprised. I mean, that part is exciting. I mean, there does come the fear of dealing with a newborn. I haven't dealt with many kids at all. So to even change a diaper, to, make sure I'm not stressed to where I'm not producing milk, so that is at the actual stepping into parenthood is what makes me nervous, not the C-section, not anything like that. I don't think anything's going to happen before I go into, because everything's been, great so far as tests and ultrasounds and all of that. So there doesn't look to be any immediate change that could happen all of a sudden where I suddenly go into preterm labor. So I'm not worried about that, but I do want to keep him with me just a little bit longer. Because, and then only after he gets here, everything becomes real. And then my brain starts thinking about the future, and it's just like, I'm only going to have like these moments with him 24 hours for just not even 2 months, because maternity leave in this country. I'm not even going to go into it because you already know. So I'm not even going to get like a full 2 months with him before I have to get back to it, and that scares me as well, because again, like I've said, I'm a daddy's girl. So with being a daddy's girl, it's because my father had to retire early. He was my primary caregiver. My mom was the one that had to go to actual work. And I feel like, too, that is a reason why our relationship struggles, is because, she's working 8, 10, 12-hour days. And it's just like, and here's a man that I have 24-hour access to. So that was another thing as well. I already know me too, but if my work life becomes so much where it interferes me developing or keeping a bond with my child, then I have to do something else. Just because I know the other side of that. I didn't like how that felt where, you're a kid and you don't know, and you're just like, why is mom not here? I don't want him to ever think that. I don't want him to ever think that. But then again, I'm not like my mom when it comes to taking time off. I will call off if I need to. I will take a vacation day if I need to, PTO, because that's what it's for. So I don't have to worry about that part. But I definitely don't want to be in a place where I feel like I'm putting a job in front of my kid. But yeah, next week. So I'm scared, excited, and happy, sad. I'm all of the emotions. That is probably to be expected. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try and make the next video here pretty soon and get them both uploaded before I really get into mommy mode. So thank you guys for watching my videos, for subscribing. Don't forget to like, comment, share, however way you can. I definitely, trust me, I really appreciate it. Hopefully I can get, I'm not posting any pictures or videos of him like soon, but I mean, if he becomes one of those kids who becomes interested in this and making content and all that, hell yeah. But that's obviously years and years and years down the road. But again, thank you guys, and wish me luck. wish me luck, because I'm definitely going to need it. I've never had this experience before, obviously, so yeah. But thanks again. Y'all have a good one.